We're really excited for you to be here, and on behalf of the Resident and Fellow Committee of the RSNA, I'd like to welcome you. My name is Courtney Tomblinson. I'm the chair of the RFC, and I really encourage you to contact me if you have ideas for how we can engage the residents in your program or wherever you are. I'd really love to speak with you, so feel free to contact me. I am going to talk to you a little bit, very briefly, about some membership benefits. So whether it's your first time here in Chicago or your fourth time, hope that you enjoy the meeting and that you have a wonderful time meeting people and exploring the city while you're here. And I would like to give credit for this photo. This photo was taken by one of our awesome members. I'm not sure if he's here today, but his name is Mark Sugi, and he is a R2 or R3 resident at my program at Mayo Phoenix. Okay, so we're going to talk about some of these things that you have available to you just very briefly. I wanted to highlight some of this content. So first up, educational materials. So the first is the Radiographics Study Guide. If you go to the Radiographics website here, we have available this Training and Fundamentals tab. The first is the Fundamentals section, and there's two ways to search this content. The first is to view them as slideshows, and a lot of these are educational exhibits that were taken from prior RSNA meetings. So for example, if we click on this one about the cerebral venous system, you can play these as slideshows. And many of them have content or multimedia embedded into them, so you can click through them at your own pace, perhaps play the multimedia. And I think these are a great way to learn about a specific topic, maybe perhaps if you didn't catch it at RSNA during the meeting. So there are a lot of opportunities for this on this website. A different way that you can use this is to search by topic. So if you uncheck that, you can filter by topic. And one of my favorite is this call prep section. So this is a curated list of articles that are emergency related, and they have full links to the articles. The second component is the ABR Core Exam Study Guide. I don't know how many of you have used this, but this parallels the document that ABR puts out that's just the outline. These are divided by subspecialty, and you can click these and expand. And these are linked to actual radiographics and radiology documents or papers. So for example, we're on IR here, we're scrolling down, looking at tumor ablation, I want to read about that. Let's check out this chemo-embo paper. And it provides you directly with the link to the PDF, or you can read it in full text. So this is kind of an interesting, there are a ton of papers here, just as the Core Exam Study Guide is long. So is this, but it's pretty comprehensive. There are some gaps, and so we're working to fill in those gaps to link the articles with the ABR Core Exam Study Guide. The next thing that you may be familiar with are the physics modules. So these are the AAPM RSNA physics modules, and if you type in physics in the search bar, it's the first link. And if you just go in, you can see all the different modules. You can launch them. They have changed the interface just a little bit, and it got kind of an updated look. But if we launch this radiation dose, you can see this home page to each of the modules looks a little bit different. But the content remained the same as it has been over the past several years. So here's how you launch the content. There's a lot of great physics information here, both for practice and for studying for the core exam. Okay, a couple special programs I want to quickly highlight. The Intro to Academic Radiology course, the ITAR course, this is offered twice a year at RSNA and at the Rink and Ray annual meeting. This is a phenomenal program for R2 residents who are interested or undecided if they want to pursue an academic radiology career. They have grant writing workshops, how to prepare a manuscript, and it does come with an $1,000 award. So check this out if you're a junior resident and considering a career in academic radiology. Comparative effectiveness research training, this is also a program that we have. This is for senior trainees or junior faculty, and this really allows you to take a deep dive into risk-benefit analysis and cost effectiveness within your practice. And the last program to mention is the National Imaging Informatics Curriculum and Course. This was just launched in October, so that date is past, but the next one is upcoming in January. It's a week at a time, half days. Interestingly, it's only a single fee per program, so each resident doesn't have to pay a fee. The department pays a single fee for all residents in that program to participate. And this is a combination of recorded and live lectures with problem-solving sessions. A couple of career resources. Here, if you type Career Connect, we have a job and fellowship posting board that we've developed, and it's the first link. And you can either find it over here in the sidebar, or you can click on the hot buttons here. So let's check out the fellowship one just as an example. You can see that you can filter by multiple different things, so subspecialty, geographic location, keyword. You can also sign yourself up for job alerts if something opens up in a particular area that you would like. And just taking a look, these are a few of the samples. I think there are 89 on there right now. We'll check out this MSK Fellowship opening post. These were posted by the programs. There's information about the fellowship with a link to the website. And you can also go down and send a message to the poster or attach your CV to it if you're interested in that fellowship. So this is a great way to find openings as they kind of pop up. There's also a similar parallel place for jobs. You can save it, and then it'll save it to your individually populated tab of places that you liked. So keep this in mind if you're on the hunt for a fellowship or a job. Okay, scholarships and grants. We have quite a number of them, actually. You're going to click the RSNA Foundation tab, and then the Grants and Awards button in the left-hand column. And you can see there are multiple opportunities to get funding for your research or projects that you have, such as this Research Resident and Fellow Grant here in the middle. This is $30,000 for a one-year resident project or $50,000 for a fellow project. There's also medical student grants, $3,000 for a 10-week in-depth research project at your institution, or the Rincon Resident Fellow Research Award. And this one is not a monetary award, but it's tied retroactively to research that you've done in the past, so it's recognition for your prior scholarly activity. This one is interesting. Each program, each year, can nominate one person from their program. So you can see these are all the nominees, or the winners from this year. This is institution specific. Okay, and lastly, I just wanted to talk a little bit about outreach. We have the RSNA Resident Representatives program, or we call it the R-cubed program, so we don't have to say that every time. But the slide you might have saw as you were walking in, the members that you were seeing in that slideshow are actually members of this R-cubed representative group. These are, each individual program nominates one R2 resident to serve as kind of a liaison to the resident and fellow committee. And so this is kind of how we find out what your needs are out, in each of your institutions. It changes every year, and it is comprised of DR, IR, and RAD-ONC residents. So we now have 145 representatives, and if you are curious as to whether your program has one or not, feel free to contact me, or you can email the Resident Fellow Committee at gmail.com, and we will check into it for you. So on behalf of the RFC, I'd like to welcome you. I'd like to thank our speakers for being here today. We have a great lineup of career-related talks for you, and we'll get going.